webinar on scaling and accelerating talent development, organized by the PMI UAE chapter. PMI, as you all know, is the world's leading association for those who consider project program portfolio management as their profession. PMI is celebrating its 52nd anniversary this year and working in nearly every country globally to advance careers, organizational success, and mature the project management profession. It's bringing up new innovations in the project management field that we see, and it's available in this my association. PMI UAE Al-Khaliji chapter is the UAE chapter. We set up in 2015. We're part of the leading global. We invite you to join our chapter. It's one of the dynamic chapters globally in terms of members and is growing day by day. So since it's a voluntary, we depend on you in order to make the chapter activities as interactive and invigorate as possible. So PMI offers free access to all chapter events. You have different opportunities to earn PDUs for a variety of voluntary activities and chapter activities. The networking opportunities with project management professionals across industries. There's an mentoring program where you can support the emerging professionals in their growth. You can participate as chapter events as a distinguished speaker. There's a host of PMI certification preparation programs. Attractive discounts on PMI materials and other partner events. These are our proud sponsor. To find out more about the upcoming events, please visit the PMI website. You can also follow us on the different social media channels that are available. So on attending this webinar, you get one technical PDU. You don't need to claim it. It gets credited to your account. And if you don't receive the PDUs in your account within 4 weeks, please send an email at the email ID info@pmiuie.org. I understand there have been some questions raised by attendees on PDUs not being claimed to the account. So please feel free to send your queries to this email ID. Oh, so today's session that we're all waiting for, scaling and accelerating talent development, Sally Elatta and Mohamed Alfaki. He is the founder of Agility Health and Agile videos, frequent industry keynote speaker, present several webinars for us and the PMI, which has been a success, and we've got excellent on all the previous. So other than being a professional and a founder, she's also she's an activist, founder of a Sudan Next Gen, a truly a multi-cap professional. And we're really privileged to have her today, this webinar.
Thank you, Rashmi.
Also, we have Mohamed Alfaki, who is a transformation consultant and strategist with Agility Health. He has conducted several agile and business agility workshops and has coached more. Welcome, Mohamed, today.
Thank you so much, Rashmi.
If you would like to participate and be a distinguished speaker in our future webinars, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. With this, I present to you Sally, Elatta, and Mohamed. Thank you.
Thanks, Rashmi. I will share my screen. I do hear an echo, so if everybody else can mute, please, Rashmi.
Yeah.
All right. I still hear my echo. Okay, testing again. Rashmi, can you mute yourself?
We can hear you. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, does everybody else hear this echo? Let's see. Rashmi, can you put yourself on mute, please? Okay, that's better. Does everybody hear the echo that I'm hearing right now? Or is it just me? Yeah, you guys do. Does anybody know why this is happening? Okay, Abdul Salim says we're hearing the echo. Oh, Mohamed, the people that are inside the panelists are not hearing the echo, but I think the attendees are hearing the echo. Even sometimes the voice is breaking. Okay, I will get started, and then if it really bothers you guys, just let me know, okay? 1 second. There's one thing I can fix on my side. I'm not sure why this echo. All right, we'll share one more time. All right, perfect. Let's get started. So thank you everyone for being here. We're going to talk about scaling and accelerating digital and agile talent development. If you guys remember, in the last 3 webinars that we've had, we first started by talking about enterprise agility. What does it mean? How do you accelerate it? How do you measure it? And then we went into team agility. How do we create healthy teams? How do we assess their health? How do we help them grow? And then the third webinar was around organizational agility. So above the team letter, how do we create product management teams that are successful with the right roles and know how to do product discovery? And how do we create lean portfolio management teams on the top that can align teams to outcomes and OKRs? This is going to be our last webinar in this series, and we're now going down again to the individuals. How do we build talent, especially around digital and agile skills? So thank you for being here with us for this. Rashmi did a great job already doing the introduction, so I'm not going to go through that again. The only thing maybe I'll mention over here is because a lot of people ask this in the webinar, what we offer is the measurement platform, which is called Agility Health. We also have agilevideos.com, which is the largest online learning library for Agile. And EBA, Enterprise Business Agility, is a strategy model. So it helps executives assess where are we today in our transformation and how can we improve. Mohamed, تفضل. Mohamed, we can't hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sally. I think I'm still hearing my voice echo, but I think it's just for the panelists, so I will ignore it and continue. Thanks for the intro. And I will just start immediately. So, okay. We talked about what does business agility mean and what is the definition and how to accelerate the business agility in your organization. So I will not just ask you today what does business agility mean to you, because we did that a lot during the 3 past webinars. So here is the definition. It's just the ability to adapt to change, learn and pivot, deliver at speed, and thrive in a competitive market. This is the definition that we talked about and explained in more details during the last 3 webinars. So please go back to the recording when it is uploaded. So here is the enterprise business agility journey. It starts with team agility, and then team agility, organizational agility, operational agility, and enterprise business agility. What we are going to focus today is about enabling and developing the talent across all these levels, from the team agility through the organizational agility till the enterprise business agility. There are so many rules here, and at each level there are some specific learning path for the individual that work in each level. So our main focus will be how to accelerate the developing for the talent and the team maturity, learning, and agility. Okay. Our main question is, what are the top challenges that you face with developing talent? Can you please think about developing talent in this COVID-19 2 years that we are in, and what are the top challenges that you face within your organization, with your team, about developing talent, whether it is digital talent, digital skills, or agile skills? Could you please write down in the chat the challenges that come in your mind immediately? Okay, digital skills. So the big challenges is developing digital skills. Yes, because as we know, COVID-19 disrupted many industries. One of them is for example, the learning industry engagement. Okay, from Nina. What else, guys? Technical staff will not use digital platforms. Yes, you're right. Handle change management. So we have so many challenges. Knowing the right method that will work for my organization and perspective to the developing talent. Employee retention, definitely. That's right.
Mohamed, I would like to...
flexibility in teams, how to manage people, how to organize them, and how to make flexible teams, how to make agile teams. Lack of motivation due to current situation, lack of leadership engagement. Yes, yes.
Mohamed, can I ask
You're
them a
dead,
question,
guys.
if you don't mind?
Yes,
What are the
sure.
top skills that you think that everybody should learn this year related to digital and agile? Like, what's the skills that you're missing? I'm also curious to hear. What are the skills, digital and agile skills, that are missing? What are the roles that have to be developed quickly for your digital transformation, agile transformation to succeed? Okay, communication.
Communication. Skills need to be developed. I think digital skills mainly include using of Zoom, MS Team, etc. platform at the basic level. Yes, definitely how to use in professional way the digital platforms for communicating with others and for the learning also. Conflict resolution, it's a real challenge. Okay, folks. So let's go and see. Here is the enterprise business agility model that we presented several times during the last webinars. And we are going to focus here today in the development or talent development. Talent development exists in the organizational structure and design, in the role agility competency, and also in the leadership and culture, and make it stick, because you need to build internal agents that can help you to sustain and help you to grow and develop your team skills during your enterprise business agility journey. So these are the 5 areas that we are going to focus, and we will walk you through during the webinar. Okay, Sally.
Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about talent development. What's the objective of a talent development program? We want to develop digitally enabled talent. It's becoming a top priority for a successful enterprise agility transformation. We believe strongly that training alone isn't sufficient. You really want to design a holistic approach for talent development. And that means that you need to think about what are the key roles that you need to upskill quickly. You need to upskill those roles, but then measure and enable them. So make sure that there's a specific competency model that you're creating for them. And then all of this talent development effort should be aligned to actual business outcomes. So who are the teams? What is it that they're trying to accomplish from a business value perspective? And how can we tie talent development and skill development to those actual business outcomes? We don't want to just do training for only 1,000 people and then that's it. We want to really tie skill development to the digital and the agile transformation journey and make sure that there are truly business results happening from it. So in terms of what are the skills that organizations are looking to do, again, think about the objective is business agility. So a reminder, again, it's the ability to respond to change, deliver at speed, learn and pivot and thrive in a competitive market. So what skills are needed? Agile, for sure. You're going to have to create cross-functional agile teams. And so all of the skills that come with agility and with agile and with scaling agile, all of those skills are going to really be necessary here. And the Scrum Master, the product owner, backlog management, estimating and planning, remote working as a team, conflict resolution, working together, delivering, all of those are part of Agile. And then I'm going to go into actually over here, product management and UX. Agile teams usually at the team of team level have product teams that should be doing product discovery ahead of the Agile team. So as I talked about in the last webinar, you know, regardless of what scaling method that you're using, you should always be planning the next 6 weeks or the next 12 weeks. Some people call it a PI or a product increment, but whatever it is that you're planning, you want to make sure that product discovery teams are working ahead of the teams. They're using design thinking, they're using creative product discovery, they're engaging with the customer, they're doing rapid prototyping, they're making sure that what the team is about to build is actually what the customer really wants. And so from that perspective, we want to shift from that project-only mentality to creating more products, product roadmap, product managers, and building a lot more UX and CX skills. UX means usability, user experience, and CX is customer experience. And there's a little bit of a difference. So, customer experience is really around the end-to-end journey of the customer, while potentially user experience is how is this user interacting with this specific functionality that I'm building for them, and what can I do to make that experience the fastest, most pleasant experience possible. On top of this, we need DevOps and cloud, because a lot of organizations are now automating what the technology team's doing. They're doing automated testing. They're doing CI/CD. They're doing daily code integration. They're trying to move things to production as quickly as possible. But they're also moving a lot of their software and their technology to the cloud. And so, mainframe systems and legacy systems are really been upgraded, and there's a lot of work on APIs. I know this might be too technical if you're not from a tech background, but on the technology side, there's a very big movement there to APIs, cloud, DevOps, and that's very important to also pay attention to and upskill folks so that they're ready to do that. From a data perspective, there's a ton happening, because as you can imagine, organizations that are saying, I want to go digital, are going to be collecting a lot more data. And so on the data side, machine learning, AI, data analytics and visualization, data monetization efforts, security and ethics related to that data is also important things to consider. And then under digital, really thinking about what is it that I have right now that I will completely take and make digital, and what is the change management that will be required. Some people are so used to doing things in a manual way, and automating it or digitalizing it, or having less human experience and a lot more potential automation, thinking about IoT, Internet of Things, thinking about how am I going to take this very manual process and create such a great, mobile experience for the customer to interact with me. It's not just about designing the new application, but you have to think about the mindsets and the training and the change management that has to come by replacing legacy applications with more digital. So there's a lot here, and that's why I just wanted to pause and say, we have to start thinking about this seriously. Companies that are not going to think about these skills seriously are going to be left behind, and they will be disrupted. And it doesn't matter how much money the company has right now or how big they are. Remember, it's not about your size and it's not about your money anymore. It's about speed to market, and it's about innovation now. So we are in a culture, we are in a market right now where it's all about innovation and disruptive innovation. Who is outthinking you and who is out learning what the market really needs and delivering it faster than what you're doing? I want to jump into the role of the managers, and I'll explain to you why. Managers today, that middle management layer, they would do a lot of work management and firefighting, right? They focus on managing day-to-day tasks. They fight daily impediments and fires. They reassign the work, and they move people between priorities, okay? They also have to be the subject matter expert. A lot of managers today, they have to solve the problems. Somebody comes to them and says, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. They give them the fish. They provide the expert opinion and the direction, and they sometimes upskill and transfer knowledge to others as well. Managers also are expected to do process improvement, which is to identify and address process inefficiencies, to remove obstacles, to provide the right tools, to establish standards and best practices, and to provide training and education to the group of people that they lead. And then finally, managers are asked to do people development and talent development, which is really help individuals grow, provide one-on-one coaching, make sure that these individuals are part of the right community of practice that can help them upskill their talent. It used to be traditionally where your boss, your manager is always more experienced than you in the same field. That's actually shifting here in the United States, where sometimes managers, they might not be somebody who's your senior in the same field, but they are a people manager. But what they will do is make sure that you are part of a community of practice where all of the experts are there, and that community of practice will help you upskill yourself and provide mentorship. And of course, obviously, managers do performance reviews. So I want to ask you here again in the chat, what do you think is the challenge with this? Having managers do all of those competing things, where do you think they end up focusing? What do they spend most of their time doing? The purple, the orange, the blue, or the green? Where do you think they spend most of their time? Let's see your responses in the chat, please. Work management. Anoj is saying they're going to be a lot more on the orange side. Naseem is saying improve processes, blue. Okay. Mohamed says blue. Sen Kumar, I'm going to call you Kumar. Growth. Okay, green. Hanadi says nope, orange. Work management. Another vote for orange, blue. People and talent. Okay. All right. A little bit of everything. Green and orange. But should be green. Good. Should be okay. Awesome, you guys. This is great. So the reason I wanted to ask you this is because we actually really want managers in the future, not now, in the future, we want them to shift a lot more to green and blue, which is talent development. And this is why the role of the manager in talent development is actually becoming critical, more important, and removing obstacles and process improvement, right? We talked about this last time, the team structure, and a lot of the subject matter expertise in the firefighting and all of that can be done within the Scrum team structure, right? The Scrum Master has the role of managing the work of the team. The product owner has the role of prioritizing the work. The subject matter expert or the solution lead that we described is the one that can solve the problems and mentor and coach others on solving problems. So really, we want managers to remove obstacles, provide the right training and tools, and upskill and develop talent, especially now, because talent development, honestly, could be a critical success factor for the success of any company. So there we go. New roles for manager. Assess and accelerate your team maturity and performance. A lot of the previous webinars that we talked about assessing team health, that really becomes a big focus for managers to make sure that's happening. Removing obstacles to optimize the flow of value. We are all now talking about enterprise agility is measured through flow, value, quality, happiness. Those are the 4 metrics, right? Flow means speed to market. I'm getting things done quickly. Value is to make sure that what I'm working on is outcome aligned, which is right over here. Quality comes from automation, testing, validation, and happiness is really the happiness of the teams and the happiness of the customer. So, supporting your internal communities of practice, aligning teams to outcomes, enabling self-organization and letting teams help themselves grow, that is going to be a very big focus for managers moving forward. And honestly, we've built a whole bunch of training just around that, because that is the change management. And managers are not all going to like this, by the way. Some managers are gonna be like, I didn't sign up for this. I am a problem solver. I love planning, and so there might be different roles that some of those managers need to move into, but the people managers need to be focusing on what we're talking about here. So we talked in our last webinar as well about learn, measure, grow. Learn, measure, grow. That is the formula for accelerating your transformation. And so we're going to go through learn, measure, and grow for talent development, one step at a time. Some of the roles that we think from an Agile perspective that you should definitely be considering is, number 1, building more team coaches. Why do we need more internal team coaches? Because those team coaches can assess and optimize the maturity and performance of teams. Some of these coaches will end up being some of your Scrum Masters, some of your project managers, and some of your managers themselves, or maybe it's a senior level BA, but these are folks that love working closely with teams. They have no problem being facilitators and assessing the health of those teams and creating that dialogue and identifying where is it that the teams need to improve. The Scrum Masters, we need them because they help organize the work of the team. And some companies have full-time Scrum Masters, and some companies have an internal person on the team play the Scrum Master role. So I'm seeing both patterns emerge. Obviously, if you're going by Scrum by the book, Scrum by the book would tell you you need to have a dedicated Scrum Master to each team. I'm being transparent and letting you know that a lot of companies don't have that today, and especially after the budget cuts with COVID, they're basically building up Scrum Masters from within the team to take some of those roles, but they're assigning team coaches and managers to help, 5-6 teams, make sure that they're removing obstacles and that really upskilling those teams. Not necessarily agree with that, but I'm just sharing with you the pattern that I'm seeing. Product owners really are a critical part of your success because we need them to help rank and prioritize the backlog and make sure what the teams are working on really is valuable. There is also Agile program managers, or RTE. If you're using SAFe, it's an RTE. If you're not using SAFe, it's we call it a team of team facilitator or an Agile program manager. It's somebody that really can work across multiple teams to do planning and scaling across multiple teams. And then obviously the managers. Other roles such as digital, data engineering, machine learning, AI, UX, all of those have to be built as well. So this is our recommended approach to talent development. It's our Agility Health Learn, Measure, Grow, Mentor model, okay? Learn, Measure, Grow, Mentor. So learn, we recommend that you build a quarterly learning roadmap for that role. Let's just say we've got a Scrum Master. I'm going to think about what does the Scrum Master need to learn over the next 4 quarters. But instead of a 2-day or a 3-day workshop, because of COVID and because of us working online, I'm actually going to mix 2 types of training. There's going to be half-day sessions mixed with video-based learning, right? So I'm going to say for this Scrum Master, here is what I want them to learn each quarter. And I'm just going to give them half-day sessions. There could be 1 or there could be 2 half-day sessions. And then I'm going to point them to the right video library and the right courses that can help them learn on their own. So you really want to mix video-based learning, which is very short, 5, 10, 15-minute videos, very targeted, to also the half-day virtual sessions or the 2-hour webinars, for example, like what we're doing here. You then want to measure. And so measurement is creating a definition of the competencies. What are the competencies that make a successful leader or make a successful Scrum Master or make a successful data developer or data engineer? What are those competencies? And what does crawl, walk, run, fly look like? So crawl means I'm just getting started. Walk means I'm, practicing those skills, getting better at them. Run is optimal, like that's really where I need to be. And fly means I can teach the skill to other people. I've gotten to a level of maturity that's I can basically now give back. Grow. This is very important. What we mean by grow, so within Agility Health, we have something called the growth portal. And the growth portal is based on this assessment. This is very important. Based on the results of the assessment and based on the specific competency that they're struggling with, you're going to give them learning resources. So not just the big library, but say, oh, you are trying to improve quality, you are trying to improve facilitation skills, then here's exactly the videos, the resources, the downloads, and the mentors that can help you. And I'll show you an example of that. And then finally, within the organization, you want to create a community of practice for mentorship. So you want to build an internal, some people call it a chapter or a guild, some people call it a COP, a community of practice for that role that you're trying to develop. And that is where people can show me, pair with me, enable me. We call it the 3-step mentorship process. Show me what you're doing, like show me how you facilitate a meeting, show me how you resolve conflict, show me how you do backlog estimation. And then pair with me, allow me to do it and give me feedback, and then enable me, which is let me fly now, let me do it on my own. So again, learn, measure, grow, mentor. We're going to give you an example here of a Scrum Master, right? So the Scrum Master, I might quarter by quarter give him basic Agile training, give him some Scrum Master basics, make sure they learn about facilitation and collaboration, and learn about how to, lead Agile teams. Those could just be some of the topics. Scrum Master from a career path perspective, where is it that they can grow in the future? Maybe in the future, we want to prepare them to be program managers, to be managers, or to be Agile coaches, right? So that's kind of the learning plan and the career roadmap. This is the Scrum Master Health Radar that we have within Agility Health. So this outlines, look, as a Scrum Master, I want to make sure that you know how to build the right foundation for the team, that you have the right leadership skills, that you can coach the team, you can execute, and you can help them plan, right? And so that's the Scrum Master Radar. And then any part of this that you're struggling with, you're going to go to the growth portal and make sure for that specific area that you're getting some guidance, and then build a Scrum Master community of practice. This is just a sample to think about for this specific role. So Mohamed, if you can take over here for why is self-learning so important now?
Yes, sure. So this is a question, interesting question, by the way, in the COVID-19 exactly. So there are a lot of reasons why we should enable self-learning internal in our organization and within our teams. There are so many reasons. For example, the impact of COVID. COVID disrupted the training style that we used to do in class, and just within 1 month or less than 1 month, everything turned to be virtually. It's very short, just in time to learn. Whenever you need to learn, whenever you need to get a training, where you are, you will have just these a lot of collection of videos and training and resources. That's actually enable you to speed the training delivery, and you will have the ability to invest in the personal growth in terms of the huge amount of available online training videos that is available for you. The freedom, so there is no restrictions, there is no you do not have to take a flight from one country to another country as we used to do during the last decade. You will take your own responsibility to grow, your own responsibility to upgrade your skills and learning and knowledge also. The higher retention, and that will make you very confident. It will increase the self-confidence among your team, among your individuals. So this is why we should enable the self-learning in our organization. In Agility Health, we have agilevideos.com, which is the largest available online training. It has we have so many options. You have a specific rule learning path. You can learn by the specific area. For example, if you want to know about Scrum, if you want to know about business agility, I think Sally, you have a specific example here how to browse the Agile.
This is just an example because I want people to think about when we say video-based learning, what are we talking about? So obviously some of you might already have your internal video-based learning, but I want you to learn that when you're building that plan, it needs to be role-based. So create a 12-week learning plan by role, which is what we've got here, but also topic-based. Some teams are going to use Kanban, they're not going to use Scrum because they might be service and support team, they might be operation team, and they really, the work that they do is more operational and they won't be able to keep planning ahead. They really want to just optimize the flow from an operational perspective. The Agile simulation, this is actually my favorite video series because it's about a day in the life of an Agile team. So you're actually watching another team do Agile, learning from them, user personas, use case diagrams, building and writing stories, breaking down epics, conflict resolution. Somebody mentioned conflict resolution, story pointing. I actually think a lot of people like to learn by watching, and it's very difficult for us to teach somebody something like this without them seeing it. They always say, I want to see it. What does it look like? What does a healthy, and they don't have to do it exactly like this, but it's like a movie, you know, you want to watch it, you want to learn from it. The Kanban videos are also meant to be really very visual so that people can think about what would my Kanban board look like. So I really want you to get away from the very traditional, we call it CBT type training, where there is an instructor and there are slide decks and we're just going slide over slide, and then there's an activity at the end. The new modern way of doing videos is this. It's very interactive. You know, you can see somebody doing something. You're watching a team actually do it. You're listening to another executive or a leader. You know, the traditional CBT learning, I think, is great when you're trying to learn maybe just a specific technical skill, but when you're trying to change hearts and minds, you want it to be a lot more interactive. In this example for Kanban, we were able to get a marketing team a service and support team and a claims department. So not even technology at all, Blue Cross Blue Shield here. And they recorded how are they using their Kanban board, like real world, how are they using it? The other videos that I just wanted to share as an example is for executives. So these videos here are all senior leader, senior manager, and enterprise coaches, which is what does enterprise business agility mean? Listening to others like Evan Laybourne, who's the founder of the Business Agility Institute. Some of these people here, like David Bland and all of them, these are experts in product discovery from Silicon Valley. So when you talk about customer seat at the table, you want to hear what they have to say. Lean portfolio management, Felipe is awesome at, his name is Felipe Castro. He's the outcome and the OKR guru. So what I'm only showing you this because I want you to see, these are executives. This is a CIO and a COO. Executives learn from other executives, right? And they have to be short videos that they're watching, but you're not going to teach executives by having a 2-day online training workshop, that has a checklist of things. So this is what modern learning looks like. And so that's why I wanted to share with you this as an example. And then I think that we were going to show also, let me just go back to the slide deck over here. The radars. Mohamed, do you mind if I just show them the radar as well? A sample.
Yes, sure. Just before that, can you show them the learning path according to a specific rule on the Agile videos?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So under learning paths, I might be a Scrum Master, a manager, a product owner. And so if I'm, let's say, a manager, I'm going to click on my learning path. And that is going to be more of a week by week. What should I watch in the first week? What should I watch in the second week? What should I watch in the third week? Now, we recommend that if you're doing these 12-week learning plans, that is where you still add, it's not just completely self-directed, but you do add that, half-day initial session or the initial 2-hour webinar to engage them, to get them excited. So they're still learning from a live person, like in that 2-hour webinar or that half-day session, but then they have all of these resources that they can go learn on their own. 10 to 15-minute videos. This is now modern learning and a modern way to think about talent development. I'll let you just do this slide before we go into that. Go ahead, Mohamed.
Yes, okay. So here we have the talent development radars. As Sally told you, the structure of the talent development program that we have, one of the main components in the development radars is based on the specific role that you play or the specific role that you have in your team. From the large enterprise business agility strategists to Agile coach, Agile leader, Scrum Master, RTE, and also we can design a specific custom rule radar. So I think you have a specific example here you want to share, Sally.
I wanted to show them what does, so this is all called competency model, right? I need to, for like the leadership agility one, and I was going to just make this one a little bit bigger. So this is an example of a group of leaders and managers who took this assessment, but I wanted you to see what it looks like. So what is it that we want a leader? We want the leaders to have clear vision and strategy. We want them to have a shared vision. A shared vision means that they are collaborating with their people and their team to develop that vision. They know how to build a strategy for executing the vision. This leader is very good at business outcome alignment, and they're very good at creating measures for success, real metrics. This leader provides clarity on priorities so that people are not multitasking like crazy. They let people focus and finish what they start. This Agile leader provides clear acceptance criteria. They engage at the right level. So sometimes we find leaders that they say that I delegate. So they completely are hands off. They're not involved in anything. That's not the right level. And there's some other leaders that are micromanaging and they're like always, on top of you, telling you what to do every day. We really want engagement to be at the right level. When teams are forming and storming, as a leader, I might lean in a little bit, but when teams are norming and performing, I might lean out a little bit. They know how to design cross-functional teams. So that was really important. We talked about that last webinar. How do I design true cross-functional teams? As a leader, what is the value that I deliver? I need to develop people. I need to build strong teams. I need to remove obstacles. I need to bring in the voice of the customer. And this is called an NPS score. So from a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this leader to others? That's your NPS score for a leader. And then from a leadership behavior perspective, every company has your own internal desired culture. So leaders at this company should behave in this way. So what we ask is, does this leader model the desired culture that this company is driving towards? Do they know how to lead through change? Are they an adaptive leader? Are they a servant leader? Can they enable autonomy? And do they seek and receive feedback well, or do they just give feedback? So if you have any questions about, this is just, I wanted to take you into a real example of a reel. Feel free to post questions if you have it around this radar. But what I want to show you is this ... is how this individual leader rated themselves. So this is Kevin McAllister, he's just a sample. And this is how Kevin basically rated himself in terms of this specific role, which I actually think that Kevin did a good job. Like, he's very aligned. Sometimes when we see this, people are very far. You know, Kevin's self-assessment, let me take Kevin away. This is how other people rated Kevin. So it's very important to see it in this view, because sometimes the line itself is not important. It's maybe seeing that somebody gave me a really high score, somebody gave me a very low score. I wonder why. How am I showing up differently? Why do some people think I'm awesome at this and some people think that I'm not? So that's important to be able to analyze that. And of course, you know, there's got to be a lot of textual responses and feedback, right? So we want people to not just score other people, but to actually give them feedback, give them gifts. What is it that they do well? What is it that they need to improve on? And then you guys have heard me always say that measurement without action is worthless data. So at the end of the day, we need Kevin to develop a growth plan. What is Kevin going to do to improve in the next 3 to 6 months? And where is it that Kevin needs help from his managers and his leaders? So I wanted to give you a practical example of how would you do this at one role, one person. But I think the magic is now when you roll up all of this data, roll up all of the data across all of the managers and leaders and see maybe all of them are struggling with something specific over here, right? We call it the roll-up view. What is the data telling you in terms of patterns? Maybe all of your Scrum Masters are struggling with facilitation, virtual facilitation. They don't know how to facilitate virtual meetings. And maybe that's an area that you need to focus on to help. Mohamed, do you want to add anything here?
No, actually, it's very good.
Okay, great.
Yes, based on that, so here we have the learning roadmap, which is one of the components that we have in the development, talent development structure. As you can see, for different roles in the Agile team, for example, Scrum Master or Product Owner or Product Manager, there are different paths or one path with different component that he can go with. For example, in the first quarter, for example, he can take the introduction to Agile, learn about Scrum, learn about Kanban, how to organize his team, how to make them self-organizing, and then he will just master the Scrum Master rule by digging deeper and get some certification. He can then go to the Agility Health Facilitator, know how to assess his team maturity and build a growth plan for them. And then he should also make sure to develop effective visual facilitation skills in this digital time. And then he can just go from the technical technical to the more leadership role by leading an Agile teams, advanced Scrum Master in the different certification agencies or bodies so this is the learning path for the different rules. The same example here for the product owner, just in the third level, he can learn how to use the different tools, the different methodologies to make a product discovery before delivery, and then he just move to the outcome-based planning and know about objectives and key results so that he can build his product backlog based on that and make sure that there is a alignment between what the team is build and the strategy of the organization, the strategy and vision of the product that his team is going to build, and also taking more leadership rules by taking leading agile teams skills and knowledge. The same for the executive leaders and for the middle managers and team leaders. They can start with the leadership agility, shifting from the command control leadership style to more enablement and empowerment leadership rule. Also, he can move across the path until he know how to design his team based on the value stream, how to define his operational value stream, the development value stream, and I hope this is give you the answers about what is the learning path for the specific route that I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Mohamed. And we don't have to go through this in more detail, but somebody did ask, which is how do we become an expert with Agility Health? And so these are the certifications that we provide. So we do believe if you're trying to be an Agile coach or an expert, then there are some public coach certification courses like from Lisa Atkins and from others that are really amazing that you should go to. And that basically teaches you the soft skill of coaching, the team dynamics, the helping teams. How do I show up as a teacher, as a coach? What are my leadership stance? So this is really great. And I'm happy to send you guys links. And then from Agility Health, our company, we have 3 different certifications. We have the Agility Health Facilitator, and this is the one that allows you to use the measurement platform to assess and help the teams improve. The Agility Health Coach is really for a little bit more senior coaches that want to roll up the data across multiple teams or multiple individuals and develop more of an organizational action plan for improvement and really have a lot more targeted, like across these 20 teams or across this 100 teams, what is it that we're going to do? And then an EBA strategist is really somebody that works at the executive level and has experience working at the executive level to develop the overall business agility transformation strategy. All right, so those are different levels of people and different kind of roles that you can play within the organization, team level, team of team level, or organizational and executive level. This is the, the learning portal. I can show this one, Mohamed, because I think it's helpful for them. When we talk about like from over here, let's say that somebody really wants to get better at one of these competencies. We've said that you really should give them resources in the growth portal directly related to that. This is very important because a lot of people today, they don't tell you how to improve a specific area. So this is just a public version, an example. Let's say stability and allocation. Like this team that we're working with is not stable. They don't know how to get better. They're always moving people around. So you want to, whether you use our platform or you build your internal version, you need to tell people for that competency, what does healthy versus unhealthy look like for that competency? What are some recommendations that they can actually use? What are some videos that they can watch to improve in that competency? Are there any blogs or resources or cheat sheets maybe that you've created internally to help people improve that specific competency? Does this company provide any training? Maybe there's some video-based training and maybe there's an internal, online training that your company provides related to that. And then I think this is the most important part, which is if I am struggling, but I need a mentor, I need a coach, I really, as a team, we want to find somebody internal that's going to come and help us. How can I quickly find access to internal mentors and to internal coaches that can help me? So what I'm sharing with you here, it's a very modern, but a very scalable way of building talent development. So what we did not talk about is just send people to training, right? Sending people to training only is not talent development. That's just training. But having that learn, measure, grow, mentor model, that is what creates a much more holistic talent development strategy. And then we're going to end by talking about the career mosaic. So this one is exciting, but it's scary, right? Because we are so used to climbing the ladder in our career. We are all used to, you know, I get promoted and I become this manager, and then I become a director, and then I become a VP. Or I am a developer, I become a senior developer, I become an architect, and I become. What we want to share with you, and this is a certification that I was part of with IC Agile. It's called the IC Agile HR certification, HR and talent certification. And we introduced this concept now called career mosaic. And the career mosaic is, maybe I'm an analyst, but I don't have to go up laterally. Maybe there are other roles adjacent to me that I could move into. And so what I'm really going to do is look at what are my current skills, and maybe there's a good match. Like maybe 70% of the skills that I have are also needed by a Scrum Master. So maybe that's the next role I should look at. Or maybe as a business analyst or as an analyst, I could really move into being a product owner or a business analyst in the future. And so this allows people to think about, what other roles do I want to play? Not how do I move up in the organization? Those are two different conversations. How do I move up in the organization is different than where else can I add value? What other skills can I develop? What other roles can I play? And I think organizations need to start thinking this way and create career mosaics, not just career roadmaps that are just going up, and also think about reward structures. How do we reward people that are able to now play, you know, other roles and evolve in their roles? And it's not just always by promoting them to the next level. Okay, the last thing we're going to finish with is enterprise change agents. You guys are familiar. We've talked a lot about the 7 pillars of EBA: the customer seat at the table, lean portfolio management, organizational structure, agile, leadership and culture, make it stick, and technology agility. Those are all the pillars of an organizational business agility transformation. So how can I build change agents? So you really have to start thinking about, for team agility, what kind of coaches am I trying to build? For team agility, what kind of new coaches and talent? One thing that we've learned is those people don't have to be full-time. You can have them still play a role, but they are allocating maybe 4 hours a week, 10 hours a week to coaching another team and guiding them. If your company is very large, you might need some full-time, you know, full-time team coaches, full-time scaling coaches, full-time, you know, outcome and OKR coaches. But I think that in order for you to scale, you want to upskill a lot of people to be mentors and coaches, maybe while they still are doing something else, but they're willing to spend 1 day per week or half a day per week learning and becoming experts at this, and then teaching back to other people. So those are just some of the change transformation roles that you might consider and think about as you go through the journey. Let's go ahead and take some questions. We definitely want you to provide feedback. This is our last webinar in this series. I sincerely hope that you have loved and learned a ton. And I'm excited to see PMI actually post this. I don't know if you guys know, but on PMI.org or projectmanagement.org or .com, I have, I think, 20 different webinars that I have done at the global level. And so you can watch some more detailed webinars on projectmanagement.com if you just search for my name. There's many, because I did this for 2 years at the PMI Global. But this is the evaluation, and let's take questions. Mohamed, do you see any questions that have been posted for us?
Not yet.
Sally, is this form in Arabic? Because I got a query from some of the attendees that they got an Arabic form when they go to the evaluation link.
The link is in Arabic. If they are from an Arabic, maybe it's automatically translating it for them.
Yeah, because I got it in English when I tried it. So
yeah, it's localizing it for them, Rashmi. Like sometimes it's a Google form. So sometimes Google, it sees what country you're from and it just automatically translates it, I think. But the form is primarily in English, but they can fill out in Arabic if they want to. We can read Arabic.
Okay. So,
would it be possible to get a discount coupon code to use agilevideos.com, Ammar? Yes. When you fill out that evaluation form, ask us for that. I think we have a, it's called Transform. I think it's just the word transform, and that will give you 14 days free access. But then after that, if you really like it, there's a 15% discount code as well. Agile Videos is just $199 per person per year. So it's not an expensive platform. And then if you guys are interested in more of the team and the enterprise packages, then do let us know, because that's much more discounted there. But yes, Ammar, just ask us for that and we'll send you. I don't know, Bridget, if you're here, if you can send them the link for the free trial registration, and then the promo code is called Transform, and that will get you 14 days free access to all the videos to watch them. Any other? And oh, by the way, all of the videos, all of them are being translated to English, Arabic, French, and Spanish subtitles. So you'll see that there's, I think, about 3 courses already that have been completely, and then we're doing that, month by month. We're obviously very agile, but if you turn on the CC, the closed caption, you'll see the subtitles, the translations in English, Arabic, and Spanish and French. All right, we are at time. If there are no more questions, thank you very much for allowing us to be part of your agility journey. I hope you learned a lot. And we look forward to working with you in the future. And thank you, PMI Gulf, for inviting us, Rashmi and the team.
Yeah, thank you, Sally. I can see a last question here as to how to use Scrum for personal development. The organization is not interested to deploy agility. Would you like to take that?
Yeah, there's called personal agility. If you look up a whole framework that's called the personal agility model, do look that up. And it's all about using Kanban and Scrum for your own development. It's called personal agility. Search that.
All right. So thank you once again, Sally and Mohamed, for this exciting webinar today. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the participants for the attendance today, and we look forward to your participation in the future webinars. If you have any queries on this topic, please feel free to reach out to Sally or Mohamed. They're available on the social media channels. Please feel free to reach out to them. And thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for the attending, and I hope you enjoying.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you. Stay in touch. Bye.
Bye.